Hi, my name is Joël Perrenoud, and I'm the Chief Product and Digital Officer at PADI Worldwide. So PADI Travel is the leading online platform or online booking agency specifically designed and specifically targeted at scuba diving enthusiasts or people who want to learn to scuba dive. Our specialization, basically the fact that, we within the big travel world, we're not trying to compete with the Airbnbs or the Booking.com. We're specifically targeted at people who are looking to go on vacation and combine scuba diving with their vacation, either in a resort setting and booking some rooms and combining that with either a dive course or just some dive packages, or even for those who are really into diving, we have a large selection of liveaboards, which are mini cruise ships where people spend the whole typically week on the liveaboard and go diving every day. So our specialization makes us unique in that we have an expertise both in terms of how we present products, how we present what people can book, and in terms of our travel agents who are all divers and all experts. It really makes us the best provider of travel booking for anybody who's really looking for something related to scuba diving. Close to 10 years ago, I actually founded Diviac with the ambition to replace what is mostly still a paper logbook. So for those of you who are not a diver, after every dive, the person is supposed to actually record some key parameters with regards to the dive, what date, what time, how long were they underwater, and typically you would enrich this with what you have seen in terms of marine life and fish, and potentially some comments about the people you've met on this. So instead of actually having this on paper, and having the risk of losing it and all the downside that comes with paper, we invented together with Django Stars, basically Diviac, which stands for Dive Maniac, and is probably still today one of the most advanced logbooks in the market. And it incorporates a huge database of marine species that you can link to your dives. It allows you to link yourself to other divers and creates a bit of a social network. It has a number of ways of displaying statistics and your dives on a world map, for example. And this product still exists today. It is still under the brand Diviac and Diviac Logbook and available to customers worldwide. And this was a typical process within a startup environment. You start with a great idea, but at some stage, it's often commercial realities catches up, and you need to pivot. And this was the great thing working with Django Stars as well, is that together we managed to pivot from this logbook business concept to really the travel world, which to some extent had a lot of similarities in terms of, let's say, the customers and in terms of, the database of dive shops and all this we have in the system. But on the other hand, is a very different product. So we rebuilt from scratch, as I said, a real truly specialized online booking platform for scuba diving vacation. And by building it from basically from the ground up, we've enabled some things that pretty much nobody else in the market can do. Because one of the particularities of the scuba diving market is all of the suppliers, especially the smaller dive resorts or the boutique or the liveaboards, are not truly connected into some reservation systems that you can just plug into. So we had to build up our own what we call extranets to be able to manage and capture all of the information that we want to display, the listings on our website. We've built from scratch a whole reservation system for our travel agents to be able to manage the incoming bookings. We've built a whole guest information system that's fully digital and allows us to capture all the information that these partners, the boats or the resorts need in advance of the guests arriving on site. As you could imagine, on a boat, often the boat needs a manifest. They need to be able to provide information to the harbor about who's going to be on the boat, passport numbers, etc. We do this all in a very secure manner, in our guest information system. But last but not least, the whole, I would say, shopping experience, the whole booking experience is fully customized for our market, which means that it provides a real edge against any I would say generic online travel agency that's trying to offer the same type of booking opportunities. Right, and this is something that we've learned over time, is that this booking a scuba diving vacation is actually quite a complex process. People have a lot of questions. People sort of change their mind. So on one hand, we're being very proactive of always learning what the questions are, what are the recurring sort of themes that come up, and providing this information on the platform and in other FAQs to make sure people can actually find the answers they're looking for. But on the other hand, we've gone really for a very solid hybrid model where we have both an online platform and a very good customer service with some online travel agents that are available via the platform, via chat or via phone, basically 24/7, 365 days a year, which again is I would say way beyond the standards of what most brick and mortar travel agencies can offer. And every one of our travel agents, as I said, has been trained on all of our inventory and is a diver, and is really in a great position to be able to advise our customers in a very personalized way. As you say, the last few years certainly have been difficult for the travel industry, and not just us, across any segment of the travel industry. And during COVID, of course, and with the complexity of international travel having really expanded, to a point where it was very difficult for most people to either leave their country or leave their region, domestic travel and regional travel increased dramatically during this period. So, it was incredible to see how, I would say, resilient travel is in general. People want to go on vacation. And if you sort of put some boundaries and say they can't really travel outside of their country or their region, they will continue to book vacations, but they will do it more locally. So we saw really a growth of domestic bookings, like I'm sure all of the players in the industry. But what's also very interesting is now that the world is reopening, we can also feel very strongly the pent-up demand for global travel. The bookings are really going very, very strong this year. We're seeing more and more people going back to the iconic destinations, whether it's the Red Sea or the Maldives, and now Southeast Asia is actually reopening as well. So, all of this demand, hasn't disappeared, and people have not changed really their desire to go to the best places in the world to go on vacation and go diving. It was just basically put on hold, and we're now seeing many, many people, sort of very happy that this is back and booking their next vacation. On one hand, it's really that focus that I mentioned a few times. On the other hand, it's really the fact that it is sort of custom built around a number of scenarios. So if you go to the PADI Travel website, you'll see that if you're interested in booking a liveaboard, we've got a flow, we've got pages, we've got information that's very specific to what you need to know for a liveaboard. Obviously, the cabins are very important. If you want to, if you're traveling as a single, as a solo traveler, the options to have, a cabin by yourself or having smaller cabins, finding those is extremely important. When you're looking for resorts, we don't just have any resorts, any beach resorts in the world. We only have the ones that are very much, close to great diving, that are linked to some dive centers. So you can be assured as a diver that when you book your vacation with us, you're only going to end up in a great place. And over the years, we've also expanded from just, I would say, vacation to actually the tours and activity space. That means there's also a large segment of people who are already divers, and what they want to do is actually just book some diving or book a course. So we created what's called PADI Adventures, which is really the same concept that you would find in some of the pure play tour and activity players, whether it's Get Your Guide, Viator, or Klook, and allow people to say, mostly on my cell phone, I am here, show me the dive centers around me, or show me the activities I can book for tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and do the full booking process online. We're getting an instant confirmation in most cases, and being able to organize your pickup, paying in advance, using your credit card, not having to worry about going to the dive center and paying in local currency, and knowing that when you arrive, they have all the information that they need in order to pre-prepare your equipment, so that you can actually pretty much fill in a couple of forms and go diving. So really covering all of the needs, from people who want to go on vacation to people who just want to book a course, or people who want to book a fun dive, or even some snorkeling or any other activity that a dive center is willing to propose, is really something that is totally unique in the market. No other player is actually offering this. With Django Stars, what we found are not only developers in a different place that help us, let's say, increase our flexibility with the scaling up, scaling down, and all the benefits that come with working with an external partner, but also a company that's has the right attitude, the right hearts. So I think this is really a nice sweet spot with some good people, nice people, very qualified engineers willing to work with you as a client to actually find solutions, whether it's on the staffing side, whether it's actually on the technical side. So overall, I can only give Django Stars a 5-star rating and say, you can't go wrong if you work with Django Stars.